Behind every legend lies a reason. This is Myth and Motive.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Known by many beautiful nicknames such as the land of the rising sun and the country of cherry blossoms, Japan has always been a beloved and admired nation worldwide. Despite limited resources and frequent natural disasters, Japan maintains its position as a leading power thanks to discipline and effort. Notably, this country is also the cradle of the adult entertainment industry in the East, an area still heavily influenced by traditional values. In addition to the above, Japan has many other interesting facts that many people may not know. Amazing lens. One, the bustling red light districts of Japan. Japan is a country with its own culture that respects matters related to adults within a framework. In some countries, this might be taboo, but for the Japanese, it is considered a traditional culture, meeting individual needs. Instead of being considered taboo, shameful, or against morality, sexuality in Japan is normalized. This is why red light districts exist. The Japanese call them akasen, bustling every night. The most famous red light district in Tokyo is Kabukicho, considered the district that never sleeps. This place operates without time limits, day and night, attracting many tourists. With a total area of over 6 square meters, it hosts 300 businesses, 200 clubs, 80 hotels, and hundreds of bars large and small, making it one of the top 10 red light districts in the world. It is an entertainment paradise of the East with diverse night activities. Hokkaido also has an extremely famous red light district, Sasuke no Sapporo. This district is located south of Sapporo Station in Odori, entirely in Sapporo City, Hokkaido. Sasuke no operates day and night at all hours. The history of this district dates back to the 1870s, designated as a red light district to serve city workers. Adult services thrived here until 1960 when government decisions were issued. Later, although still present, Sapporo gradually became more orderly. In 1970, the opening of underground shopping malls, department stores, and hotels made Sapporo lively and bustling again. In this Japanese red light district, there are many restaurants, pubs, and karaoke bars under neon lights. But there are still typical clubs and love hotels with young girls in revealing outfits attracting customers. Tobita Shinchi, also known as Tobita Yagaku, is one of the 3 largest red light districts in Japan, located in Osaka. This district operates from 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. daily. Tobita Shinchi dates back to the Taisho era and remains one of Japan's most active red light districts. In 1912, brothels in the Shinichi Otobi area of Nama Ward, Osaka, were destroyed in a major fire. These brothels were relocated to the current Tobita Shinchi site in 1916. This area is just south of the Shinchi Entertainment District, considered luxurious and trendy. Despite opposition from activists and anti-prostitution laws, Tobita Shinchi closed for only one night and resumed normal operations as a restaurant association, as if nothing happened. In each brothel on Osaka's red light streets, girls stand by windows or doorways as an invitation to customers. Upon entering the restaurant, tea and snacks are served in private rooms. Whether to use adult services is considered a private matter between customers and staff. Japan's adult film industry is considered the largest in the world, accounting for up to 20% of the global market share and generating billions of US dollars in profit. For a long time, adult films have been one of the distinctive features associated with Japan. This country prohibits prostitution but legalizes the adult film industry. The rapid growth and strength of Japan's adult film industry leads some to joke that it's harder to meet an acquaintance on the street than an adult film actress. According to 2015 statistics, the number of adult film products in Japan was estimated at around 20,000 titles, plus online or illegal products. The total number of Japanese adult film products reaches 35,000. This means that every day, the land of the rising sun releases 100 adult film products. Approximately 4,000 new films are produced each month. The cost of a Japanese AV film is only a fraction of Hollywood's billion-dollar films. Meanwhile, a DVD is sold at a relatively high price of about 3,000 to 4,000 yen, approximately 500,000 to 700,000. Japanese films are also exported to many countries worldwide, with output 5 to 6 times that of American films. The most unique aspect of Japanese adult films is that 100% of the sex scenes are real. Because real sex is involved, this industry has extremely strict regulations to ensure sexual health. Most actors must undergo comprehensive health checks before each scene. Japanese AV films do not require high acting skills but focus on appearance and perfect body proportions. Bodies need to be toned so they dawn. The number of female actors in this industry always outnumbers men. So why do young, cute girls today like to star in 18-plus films? First, they are often betrayed and deceived by boyfriends in relationships. The second common reason is that young girls don't want to do stressful office work with low income. Boring jobs make them lazy and wanting to earn money quickly. The desire for a luxurious life is why the 18-plus film industry is popular in Japan. Currently, the highest paid individuals in the 18-plus industry are Yua Mikami and Shoko Takahashi. If Yua Mikami quickly became a valuable name and attracted attention, then Shoko Takahashi once reached the #1 spot on the 2018 best-selling 18-plus star chart. In a live interview, Yua Mikami revealed that the income from her first film alone was enough to buy a mid-range apartment in Setagaya Ward, Tokyo, one of the cities with the highest cost of living in the world. Shoko Takahashi didn't specify, but hinted that the amount she received was no less than 8 figures for her debut film. In March 2020, the Japanese entertainment world was shocked by the news that Yuki Rimina, a beauty who won a pageant at a prestigious university, switched to adult film acting. The reason she gave surprised many: revenge on her ex-boyfriend. Although she later admitted that declaring to become an 18-plus film actress for revenge was out of anger, her ex was still part of the reason she chose this job. In Japan, the yakuza underworld is considered legal. Yakuza members, Japanese mafia, are to some extent still innocent before the law. Finding a notorious gang is not difficult in the land of the rising sun. The yakuza has its headquarters right on the famous shopping street Ginza. A metal plate engraved with the words "Sony Yoshikai" at the door indicates that this is where a notorious yakuza group resides. All members have legal documents and are registered with the police. Some even receive pensions or benefits. The yakuza originated from theft and gambling during the Edo period, 1603 to 1868, then became a nationwide crime system. During modernization, they penetrated deeper into the economy. After World War II, the yakuza dominated the black market. At its peak in 1960, the organization had over 184,000 members. The yakuza of that era had close ties with politicians. This long history partly explains why the yakuza is still not considered illegal. However, under pressure from the US for Japan to more strictly control organized crime groups, the yakuza has been severely suppressed. An anti-yakuza ordinance was issued 3 years ago, banning all companies from dealing with the mafia. Businesses from banks to small shops must ensure no customers are involved with the underworld. Yakuza members cannot open bank accounts. Still, there is no specific decision to handle criminal groups. Police believe the ordinance has somewhat made the yakuza back off. As a result, the yakuza still operates in ways that Europe or America find hard to believe. Magazines, comics, and films still glorify underworld heroes. Notorious bosses are no different from A-list stars. Although membership has dropped to a record low of 53,500 people, according to the National Police Agency, manual labor is still only for freelancers with no criminal record. The hidden mafia mainly engages in dirty money schemes from finance and banking. This makes detecting them extremely difficult. Suicide rates are always high across many age groups. According to data from Japan's Ministry of Health, the number of people who took their own lives in Japan in 2023 was 21,818. This number has decreased by 63 people compared to the However, Japanese experts believe that this number is still too high, as on average more than 60 people choose this negative ending every day. According to statistics from the Japanese National Police Agency, the number of suicides among men was 14,854. An increase of 108 people, and for females, it is 6,964. A decrease of 171 people. With a rate of regarding age, the group of people aged 50 accounted for the largest number with 4,186 cases. The second largest group is people in their 40s with 3,624 cases, while the number of cases among students decreased by 53 to 1,010, in which there are 507 elementary, middle, and high school students. In a previous survey, 44.8% of respondents said the reason they had suicidal thoughts was due to difficulties in relationships. Bullied, and worried about future job or education prospects. Among those who had this intention, 40.8% reported that they had prepared or attempted to end their own lives. Particularly in the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender (LGBT) community. Up to 59.4% have had that intention. The survey also found that 76.4% of people who had been sexually abused had contemplated suicide. This figure is much higher than the 39.3% rate among those who have never experienced sexual abuse. Speaking of this issue, Japan has a famous location called the Aokigahara Suicide Forest. Here, patrol staff and visitors often discover bodies, personal belongings, or ropes scattered throughout the forest. This makes this place always carry a gloomy and frightening atmosphere. Aokigahara Forest is known worldwide as Japan's most famous suicide forest. This is the place where a series of heartbreaking suicides have occurred over many decades. Many hypotheses have been put forward to explain why this place has become such a terrifying forest. The most frequently mentioned reason is spiritual factors, particularly the Ubasu legend. However, there is still no precise and specific answer to this question. Located near Mount Fuji, the sacred cultural symbol of Japan, Aokigahara Suicide Forest is said to be associated with many deities, as well as legends from the ancient times of the land of the rising sun. Ubasu is the legend most often mentioned when discussing the spiritual aspect of the forest. According to many sources, the Ubasu custom was once practiced in the Aokigahara Forest, and this is considered the starting point for a series of painful and tragic events that took place here, making the forest associated with the name. The question is, what is Ubasu? At the end of the 18th century and the beginning of the 19th century, horrific famines and natural disasters occurred in Japan, leading to an exhausted economy. People's lives fell into poverty and food shortages. The harsh reality has led to the painful decision of limiting food portions in the family, or take the elderly and weak, usually women, who are unable to work or care for themselves, up the mountain. Specifically, a healthy family member will carry the elderly person up the mountain. Along the way, they left marks to trace their path. The abandoned one will stay on the mountain, waiting night after night, until they had to leave due to hunger, cold, hypothermia, or the terrible combination of the above. Usually, those who are abandoned voluntarily sacrifice for the happiness of their family. In addition, the legend also says that the souls of those who died in the Ubasu custom caused hallucinations and lured others into the forest, causing them to get lost. It makes them become confused and doubt reality. Finally, they decided to end their lives in the forest. Many speculate that Aokigahara Forest, located right at the foot of the sacred Mount Fuji, is one of the places where the Ubasu custom took place. This explains the source of negative energy and the gloomy atmosphere that pervades this place. Although there is no specific evidence to prove the existence of the Ubasu legend, as well as its connection to Japan's most famous suicide forest. However, this spiritual element seems to be believed by many locals and is considered the cause of the suicides in the forest. As one of the safest countries in the world, Japan boasts a relatively high standard of living, leading to a natural decrease in crime rates. Although Japan's safety level does not depend solely on this one factor. But even when combining multiple factors, this remains a country with a low crime rate and high safety index. In recent years, Japan's crime rate has fluctuated around 0.25 per 100. For comparison, the crime rate in the United States was estimated to be between 4.93 and 6.81 during the same statistic. Even in Japan, crime is so rare that in the southern city of Kagoshima, police had to set up a trap in a supermarket parking lot by leaving an unlocked car with a case of beer inside to catch thieves. However, after a week, the 5 officers were finally satisfied to catch a rare criminal through the trap, the middle-aged man passing through the parking lot. Japanese people highly value social harmony and legal organization. These greatly influence how society views certain individuals or actions. They have relatively negative reactions to criminal behavior, with communities often strongly ostracizing offenders. If you're sitting in a coffee shop, you need to go to the bathroom, step outside to make a call, or rest somewhere for a while. When you return, everything will still be there waiting for you. Japanese transportation is also considered safe compared to other countries. In 2021, fewer than 3,000 Japanese people died in traffic accidents, much lower than the 43,000 cases in the United States. These numbers are quite surprising given that in the 1960s, Japan had one of the highest traffic accident rates, 6 times higher than current numbers. Japan has one of the highest average life expectancies in the world at 83.7 years, according to the WHO report. This is not only the result of medical progress, but also comes from the healthy lifestyle and long-standing cultural traditions of the Japanese people. This has had a profound impact on their health and longevity. One of the typical habits of Japanese people is bathing in hot springs, known as onsen, an indispensable part of Japanese cultural life. The benefits of onsen bathing are not limited to relaxation but also include health improvement thanks to natural minerals in the hot water. These minerals help promote metabolism and strengthen the immune system, thereby improving long-term health. Japanese people have much lower rates of smoking and alcohol consumption compared to many Western countries. They understand that alcohol and tobacco not only harm the liver and lungs but are also major causes of many cancers and other health problems. Therefore, they persistently avoid these habits to minimize health risks and extend lifespan. Finally, Japanese people pay great attention to scientific and balanced diets. They never eat too full. According to Health Life, a characteristic feature of Japanese eating habits that helps enhance health and is the secret to longevity is eating until 80% full. Accordingly, Japanese people strictly control their portion sizes in terms of both quantity and composition of each dish. Always eating the right amount of food needed not only prevents the digestive system from being overloaded but also helps reduce the risk of digestive diseases, even cancer. Consuming fresh and nutritious foods like fish, green vegetables, and mushrooms not only helps them maintain reasonable weight, but also ensures the body receives sufficient nutrients needed for good health and longevity. Anyone who reaches 105 years old in Japan is honored to receive a silver cup from the Prime Minister. This practice is considered a tradition that began in 2009. Lowest obesity rate among developed countries. Japanese people not only live long but also have a very low obesity rate. The World Health Organization also published survey data on global obesity rates. In this, Japan ranks among developed countries with the lowest obesity rate at 4%. Meanwhile, France has an obesity rate of 11% and the United States as high as 32%. However, according to a survey by The Lancet, Japan is one of the least sport-loving countries in the world. Specifically, 60% of Japanese people don't exercise. Physical activity doesn't. Because traveling by taxi in Japan is expensive, and with high population density, they focus on walking or cycling to meet transportation needs. Additionally, Japan's terrain is mountainous with many uphill and downhill roads. Therefore, for Japanese people, even daily commuting is like mountain climbing. Moreover, Japanese cooking methods are very light and low in oil. Japanese people also love the original flavor of food and don't add too many spices when preparing dishes. Japan leads the world in robotic science. This country possessed more than half of the industrial manufacturing robots in the 2000s. Japan invented Curio, Asimo, and Aibo. This country has very promising plans in the space exploration industry, including plans to build a lunar station by 2030. Japan's Space Exploration Agency, JAXA, is one of the key members of the International Space Station. This is an agency specializing in space research, planets, aviation research, rocket development, and satellites. One of the reasons Japan focuses on developing robots and AI is because its aging population and low birth rate are leading to a labor shortage. Japan is experiencing a labor shortage. Regardless of whether the economy is performing well or not, we are beginning to lack essential human-performed services to maintain people's lifestyles and social welfare. Chado Furuya, head of the research team at the Institute for Research on Organizations and Individuals in Japan, AWI, stated, AWI, a Japanese think tank, predicts a shortage of 11 million workers by 2040. The number of people over 65 currently accounts for nearly 30%. Recently, many signs indicate that the country is facing a labor crisis. Central Japan Railway no longer has food carts on Tokyo and Osaka high-speed trains since October, or vending machines across the country not being restocked for many days. One of the ways this country is implementing to address the challenge is integrating technology into daily life. Among them, AI, robots, and virtual humans are potential labor forces in key sectors: construction, transportation, agriculture, and Japan's construction industry is currently struggling to attract young workers and female labor due to long working hours, heavy manual labor, and low wages. Recently, policies on wage increases and social welfare have been introduced, but some fail to recruit enough people. According to Japan's Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism, the number of workers in the field is now 4.8 million, up 30% from the peak of 5.997 million. Only 12% of construction workers are under 29 years old, while 36% are over 55. However, some companies see business opportunities. Daniel Blank, CEO of startup Chico, flew from New York to Tokyo last year to introduce a solution using industrial robots to automate one of the most labor-intensive processes in construction, assembling steel reinforcement cages. In the road transport sector, the country is concerned that labor shortages could lead to a decline in the quality of essential services. This is particularly serious, as the number of Japanese people over 65 is projected to peak in 2042. To date, companies like Toyota and Rakuten are developing robots and self-driving vehicles for goods delivery and passenger transport without drivers. At the Motomachi plant in Aichi Prefecture, Toyota began using a logistics robot team to receive and move cars to loading areas, expecting to replace 22 workers with 10 robots. In agriculture, Japan is on the path to self-sufficiency in more products, but the lack of enough workers is making this goal increasingly difficult to achieve. However, farmers here are also starting to adopt robots for automation and production. Currently, Japan's demand for robots is huge. Some companies use domestically produced machinery systems, but most machines are imported from China. In the retail sector, labor shortages are leading Japan to turn to virtual humans and AI solutions. In one Lawson's retail chain store in central Tokyo, customers are greeted by a staff member with a cute appearance but through a 48-inch screen. The virtual human is built and operated by technology company Avida. Other retail chains and convenience stores in Japan are doing the same. Chako Nishikuchi, CEO of Avida, aims to deploy 100,000 virtual humans across stores by 2030. Japan is one of the most earthquake-prone countries in the world because it sits on 4 converging tectonic plates that constantly rub against each other. According to the scientific journal Nature, about 1,500 earthquakes strike the country each year, though most are too mild to be felt. Most major earthquakes in Japan are caused by the Pacific Plate off the east coast of Japan, which slides beneath another plate. The largest recorded earthquake in Japan measured 9.1 magnitude, striking the Tohoku region in 2011 and causing a massive tsunami. Besides earthquakes, there are about 111 active volcanoes in Japan and about 15 volcanic events including eruptions occur annually. Many of these pose serious threats to human life. Japan lies in a ring of fire, an area where tectonic and oceanic plates meet. Therefore, it has been the target of 10 of the worst natural disasters this century. Despite this, the country remains resilient, able to recover quickly from any disaster. Hiroshima City, Japan is about 12 minutes away by ferry. This is a famous tourist spot nicknamed Rabbit Island because hundreds of rabbits live on the island, outnumbering the human residents. Many theories exist about the presence of rabbits on the island. Some believe rabbits were brought to Okunoshima during World War II as test subjects for chemical weapons by the military. Another opinion suggests that since the island developed tourism, people raised rabbits to attract visitors, and today they have multiplied in large numbers. Okunoshima is part of Setonaikai National Park, designated in 1934. However, this island once served as a secret and massive chemical weapons production site for the Japanese military from 1928 to 1945. Japan was one of 38 countries that signed the 1925 Geneva Protocol, prohibiting the use of chemical or biological weapons. However, like some other countries at the time, they continued to produce and stockpile them. But no country is perfect, and Japan is no exception. High suicide rates, intense work pressure, and population aging are the dark sides Japan is striving to overcome. Certainly, the land of the rising sun will need much more time to improve better. Japan also often tries to improve better, but without prediction. And the issue of population aging is the dark side that Japan is striving to overcome. Certainly, developing countries will still have a lot of time to address these challenges. This video ends here. Thank you all for watching. Don. Hello and see you again next time.
If the legend hooked you, subscribe and open the next case.